Hey everyone, Decayed Matter here again. This video is going to be explaining some differences I found between all these versions of Doom 3, and mostly explaining why I think this Doom 3 BFG edition, especially the PS3 version, is basically a pile of crap. So I'm going to try to go in depth with all the issues, and just keep in mind that most of these issues have been fixed on the PC version of Doom 3 BFG Edition. However, id Software and Bethesda still refuse to patch the console version. Hence why I'm making this video now, so you get a better understanding of why I think this port is such garbage. So enjoy the comparison, guys. Okay, first up we have a game-breaking glitch in Doom 3, where if you activate the elevator in the Delta Labs before restoring power, basically the elevator no longer works and you lose your progress. There's a similar glitch to this in Resurrection of Evil after you beat the Electric Hellhunter boss. The elevator to leave that stage no longer works as well. Those definitely need to be fixed. Next up, I wanted to talk about the controls. This is another big problem I have with the BFG edition. First off, my biggest problem is mapping the run button to L3 and the fact that you can't toggle it. Not to mention there's no crouch toggle. As far as the run button goes, this makes your thumb really sore after a while, constantly having to tilt it while holding, the left click down. Not to mention the flashlight is mapped on L1 and the circle button is unused. They should allow you to customize the controls, honestly. And as you can see, the special weapons are permanently mapped to the D-pad, and there's no way to customize what weapons on the D-pad like the old Xbox One version. And you can see no matter what configuration, the circle button is unused, and there's nothing really satisfactory with the controls. So, and as you can see, there's no way to configure the D-pad. And I just wanted to show, it's not like Call of Duty where you click the left analog stick and then let go and you keep sprinting forward, because you sprint in all directions in Doom 3. The ideal way to play would be to have it on L1, so you can easily sprint and not have to hold down the thumbstick button. Would make it much more comfortable. And as you can see, using the D-pad directions just switches the special weapons such as the fist, the heart artifact, the gravity gun, the grenades. No way to map the weapons you want on the D-pad direction that you want. This was great in the Xbox version. I don't know why they decided it was no longer a good idea in the BFG edition. This makes it really hard to quick switch to a weapon you need, especially after using the hard artifact. In the Xbox One version, after you slowed down time, it automatically switched to the last weapon you were using. And here we go on the Xbox One versions of Resurrection of Evil. This is the options menu. You can see right away sprint is mapped to the left trigger and crouch is on the left stick, and there is a crouch toggle option. Not to mention you can zoom with the right stick, something they removed completely from the game. And there's plenty of configurations that are good to use, especially if you use the 360 pad to play this on backwards compatibility. And then here I'm showing the D-pad configuration screen. What was really nice about the Xbox One version is you could put any weapon you want on any D-pad direction. So say if you want, the plasma gun there, you can do whatever you want, and it's easy to access quickly. They really need to patch it and put that back in, because that affects gameplay. And another thing is you can't skip the cutscenes, and that's pretty frustrating. Okay. And now I'm going to show a little bit of the multiplayer mode. The multiplayer seems like an afterthought. It's just, I don't know, it's mediocre. There's a lot of lag in it. There's connection issues. And you can see the graphics just aren't that great. There's no particle effects with the weapons. And right here is where I run into a connection error, which has been reported by multiple users. See, it says finding new host, and then connection problem. And no, it is not my internet. I'm on a 30 megabit per second download, 5 megabit per second upload. So, and I'm wired, so it shouldn't be happening. And this just shows some of the multiplayer action. You can kind of see the lag with the rockets. It's just not very good. I used to enjoy this on Xbox One, but this is just really laggy and just seems like an afterthought. You can see the grenades are kind of lagged when you throw them. There's a lot of lag when explosions start going off. You can see. Yeah, very laggy, very mediocre. And I won the match just by throwing a bunch of grenades. And now I'm going to show the glitch that affects Resurrection of Evil only. It removes all of the impact and weapon-based particle effects. As you can see, as I'm shooting the ground, there's little smoke clouds. It's working fine right now. And then when you throw a grenade, of course, you get an explosion and a little smoke cloud. Nothing great, but, you know, it's a visual impact. You can see. Definitely should be an explosion and smoke. But when you switch over to the heart artifact and use it, that's what triggers the glitch. And you'll see in a second here. And this glitch lasts until the end of the stage. Once you reload the stage, it goes away, but as soon as you use the heart artifact again, it reappears. So once the heart artifact has been used, and I try shooting the ground, no bullet impacts. Same with the machine gun. And for some reason, the bullet holes just disappear instantly. There's like one bullet hole at a time. So yeah, the heart artifact removes the weapon-based particle effects. This affects all weapons, including the BFG, the rockets, the plasma gun. And you can see, throwing the grenades, there's no explosion from the grenades. They just kind of disappear. This is a glitch that's been fixed in the PC version, but they still have left us console owners in the dust. And now I'm going to show some of the lighting effects differences. This is the Xbox One version. As you can see, when the imp throws a fireball, it lights up the environment, and it also projects stencil shadows. You can see it here again. Lights the environment, casts shadows. Looks fairly nice, in my opinion. This was back on Xbox One. Looks fine. And next we have the vanilla PC version. Again with the imp, same area. You can see it's the same effect, but it's much more intense on PC. Seems like there's more shadows and just a wider radius. And you can see the player's shadow illuminating and projecting from his fireballs. Looks very nice on PC. And here's the BFG edition on PS3. Again with the imp coming down. And you'll notice with his fireball, it does light up the environment, but it doesn't project any stencil shadows. This is the same with enemies who use firearms and any fireball throwing enemy. Okay, now we got the Xbox One version again. I slowed it down this time so you can see it easier. Again, you'll see the imp shadow projecting from the light source in his hand. Not as intense as the PC version, but it's still intact. That's what's important. And again, you can see the shadow quite clearly there. Lights up the environment as well. Cast shadows off the environmental objects. Looks very nice for Xbox One standards. And now we have the vanilla PC version again. You'll see much more intensity with that stencil shadow. And the explosion of the fireball, you'll see the player's shadow right there. It's very nice, in my opinion. And then the BFG edition on PS3. Slowed down. See no stencil shadows projected. This is kind of ridiculous considering Xbox One did it just fine. I mean, I don't even expect it to be as intense as the PC version, but just removing these effects completely just screams laziness, in my opinion. Okay, now we're going to show off a couple more things. This shows the blood effects on the environment when you shoot enemies. This is the Xbox One version. As you can see, when you shoot the enemies, the blood splatters all over the ground. Very thick, a lot of it. And then if we go over in the shadows, when you shoot the guns, it lights up the environment. Lights up the walls. If there's enemies nearby, it lights up the enemies. And then I'm going to show you when you shoot walls in the game, it leaves little bullet decals. Every little pellet from your shotgun leaves a decal on the wall. They do disappear after a little while, but they all add up if you keep shooting. Plenty of decals on the walls. And now we have the vanilla PC version. Again, we're going to show the blood effects on the ground. An abundance of blood effects, for sure. Yeah, covering the ground. And I let this guy come over to a clean spot. And you can see again, it works just fine. And then again, over in the shadows on PC, the guns light up the environment. This is the same for all guns. And you can see it leaves bullet decals on the wall. Just fine. And I should also mention the plasma gun and BFG and the grabber gun all cast lighting. Now we have the BFG edition on PS3. As you can see, shooting the enemies, no blood is on the ground. And what causes this glitch is if you save and reload a game, this occurs. Or if you go through a level load, this glitch occurs. Even when the glitch isn't occurring, there's way less blood in this version than compared to the other ones. And then again, we go in the shadows and shoot the shotgun. This time it only lights up the shotgun, not the environment. Yeah. And then we try to shoot the wall. One bullet hole appears. Shoot again. It disappears. No bullet holes. Nothing. Why this was reduced, I don't know. 1 bullet hole, 3, 4. 4 is usually the most you'll get. Oh, there we go. It's just a huge reduction in those. I don't know what the deal with that is. Okay, next up, same area, Xbox One version. This time it's going to show the difference in physics as far as the dead bodies. As you can see, as I kill these zombies, they fall on top of each other. And yeah, this is the Xbox One version. You can see he dies and falls on top of them, but he doesn't clip through their bodies. They all stay piled on top of each other using physics. Works just fine. Xbox One. Then we have the PC version. Again, killing the zombie in the same spot. Other one comes. Kill a couple more. Bodies start piling up. And as you can see, they don't clip through each other. They lay on top of each other. Same with this guy. And there you go. Another pile of zombie bodies.
Your position.
And now the PS3 BFG edition. Same spot, same zombies. Start trying to get this pile going. And as you can see, as they fall onto the pile, they don't pile up. They just clip through each other. And this guy too. And as you can see, they're all just kind of clipping through each other. So even the physics have been reduced from the Xbox One version. See, as I knock him up in the air, he just clips through the other guy. Very disappointing. Alright, well, that's the end of this video. I'm just going to end it by showing the difference in load times. Here's the Xbox One version. You guys can time it yourself. But, you know, the PC's a little faster than Xbox, but PS3 is double the length of the Xbox One load times. So I just like to say that you guys should definitely head over to the Bethesda forums. I'll put the link in the description. Let them know that this type of sloppy porting isn't going to fly. This definitely puts a hamper on my excitement for Doom 4. I just wonder if they're going to screw us over. And there you go, guys. Here's the load time for PS3. It's super long. I'll leave you with that. And hopefully they patch this like they patched the PC version, considering a lot of console players found these glitches for them. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video and keep watching. I'll see you guys later.